Hey guys, so in my class this week with nature study, one thing that we looked at was we were studying juniper, and specifically we were looking at one seed juniper, but we were also looking at Rocky Mountain juniper. We would have talked about alligator juniper if it was out there, but one thing that we discussed is that juniper is a type of plant that is called dioecious, and it means that there is a different plant for males and a different one for females. So as you know, with most plants and most flowers, they have the male and female parts. But some plants, they're different, and it can either be on different stems, or typically in the case of juniper, you have a female tree and a male tree. And so, as you can see, this is a juniper tree with berries, and this indicates that it's a female tree. So anytime you see a juniper tree with berries, you can pretty much just say, okay, it is a female tree. So let me show you the males. So here's an example of a male tree. As you can see, it has the same scale-like leaf structures, but instead of having these blue berries on there, it has these orange-like cones. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. There we are. And these cones are what is going to produce the pollen. And typically the pollen for these species gets released kind of towards the end of winter, beginning of spring. So here where we live in the Southwest, we're looking at allergy season for junipers starting around January and maybe ending around April. It's a long season. But anyway, this is what they look like. So when you're looking for different trees, you can actually tell which ones are males and which ones are females by seeing if they have seeds. And if they don't, looking for these essentially pollen cones at the end of the stems. So just to wrap this up, I want to tell you a little bit more about the juniper. It's a very drought-tolerant plant, as I'm sure you know. They may grow as tall as 30 feet. That would be really, really tall for a juniper, but their taproot could grow 100 to 200 feet below the ground. And so the way that they get water is they just reach water sources that are far below the ground. They also have fibrous root systems that spread out around it as well. Let's talk about the berries. So the berries are commonly eaten by birds. They're also commonly eaten by coyotes. So if you've ever been walking the trail and you find some scat on the trail that looks like it's full of these blue berries, most likely it's coyote, and they have been munching on these. And these are not poisonous. You could eat them if you want. It tastes like a juniper, so it's nothing great. But Native Americans used to use the seeds for making flour. They obviously use the seeds and even the leaves for making various medicines. One thing that whenever I was looking at the juniper that I thought was kind of funny is that Folklore had it that people would plant these in front of their houses to keep away witches. When we were in Colorado this summer, no, it was Arizona, sorry. When we were in Arizona this summer, my son bought a bracelet with juniper seed berries on it. And the Native American woman who sold it to us said that it was part of their culture that these seeds would keep away bad dreams. So juniper trees have an incredibly long history in the Southwest. They are largely a part of the landscape and a part of the culture, and they're really, really great trees. Go out and get to know one. And if you guys have any questions, post them below. Oh, I do want to say that junipers are different than cedars. So a lot of people say cedar fever, and junipers is most likely what they're talking about if you're in the United States. And just so you know a little bit about the taxonomy of it, that junipers and cedars are both in the family for cypress. So they're both a type of cypress tree, but junipers and cedars are different. And a lot of towns are named, cedar this and cedar that, when really what we have are junipers. So, and even some juniper trees are called, their common name has cedar in it. So it's really, really confusing. But when people are talking about cedar fever and various things like that, they're usually talking about the juniper. If you're here, like I said, in the US, and especially here in the Southwest. All right, I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions about junipers, let me know. All right, bye.